Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, episode 84. I'm Ferret.
I am Ace.
And I'm the Younger Raccoon. And it's good to have you back, Ferret.
Thank you very much.
It's been almost a couple months.
It's been very long, yes.
And I think the good thing as well is the last two podcasts have been a bit unusual. So now that we're all here, it feels like it's like a return to normality, which is great. Good to have you back as well, Ace. Good to have you in the flesh as well.
Thank you. Yeah, last time it was Skype, and the one before that I was alone.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So it's so everything's back to normal for the most part, and well, actually, I say normal. It started snowing again in England.
Yeah. After a brief spot of sun, it just snowed again.
Yeah, and it's just like, really?
So why are you doing that?
Kind of. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it must be nice for some people, but it's just kind of like, let's. Yeah. You know, I think we're done.
It's irritating,
honestly. Just well, it wasn't too thick, so we'll see.
It wasn't as bad as before.
So I think we need to kind of start with Ferret and kind of know what he's been up to over the last 2 months.
All right, I'll just ram it in there. I went to.
Oh no! Really?
Already?
That wasn't meant to be like that.
I thought it was.
No, I seriously wasn't meant to say like that. Let's just go for it. Yeah, come back from Japan. I had a very nice Japan trip.
So you also went to Japan?
Of course, yes. I went to I was staying in Ikebukuro with my two closest allies, and
troublemakers, really.
They are quite troublemakers. Yes, it was very fun. Apart from getting jet lag sick, thinking I was gonna have a heart attack during an earthquake, but that's just all in the day's work, really. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I've got accepted into Nottingham University, so
congratulations,
for history,
man. Well
I'm going to
done.
go for that. I love history. Quitting the current uni so I can keep going with my music, because I'm in quite a few bands now, so I'm expanding my musical repertoire.
Awesome.
And then for the third big thing, I would say, asked my girlfriend to marry me. She said yeah, but we haven't arranged anything, so it's going to be at least
Oh wow, I didn't know about that.
a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congrats, though.
Something.
Yeah.
Arigato. Gozaimasu. Doesn't that mean... Yeah, that means thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, yeah.
Alright, good. Well, that's me wrapped up.
So you've been extremely busy.
Yeah, been very busy. There's a lot of shit that's been going on.
That's good to hear, man. I mean, you got to stay busy, and and especially good kind of busy as well.
Well, there's been a few annoying difficulties.
That's just life.
I'm not going to say anything.
Don't worry about it too much. Ace, how's things been?
I feel like I've done nothing.
in comparison.
Yeah, like mostly I've spent the last 2 weeks looking up computer parts and stuff of the PC that I'm going to build.
Yeah, big project.
You joking? That sounds fucking awesome, man.
And some days have just blurred by, and then I realise it's Wednesday. I haven't talked to anyone in like a day or two.
Yeah.
I think I actually messaged you once, and it'd be like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It's like, is it still this week?
But that's understandable.
No. I get that a lot.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, it's only through social networks. I mean, that's not your life, so don't worry about it.
But yeah, other than that, it's mostly just been watching some stuff at home on Netflix because they have everything.
Oh, almost. Yeah,
basically.
Almost. They're getting there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And,
it's only a matter of time until they actually acquire some like Japanese animation studios, and then they pretty much will have everything.
Playing Borderlands 2, which I haven't finished yet.
Oh yeah, it's a big game.
Yeah, it's good. I'll talk about that more when I've finished it, though.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah, talk about those films I've seen, or...
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to know.
I want to hear.
So, all three are sci-fis, because I've been kind of on a binge for those.
Okay. Getting ready for the Han Solo, I see.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh,
the best sci-fi film coming out this year.
It will be. 21 Space Odyssey.
Doesn't matter. First one is The Zero Theorem by Terry Gilliam.
Interesting.
It came out in came out in 2013, and I can't remember anyone talking about it ever at all. It's a really weird kind of tragic dystopian sci-fi, which has comedic elements but isn't a comedy. And it's essentially about the main character, who's a hacker, trying to make 100% equals 0 in order to find the meaning of life, in a way.
Right.
And it's very weird and abstract, and the company he works for is constantly trying to stop him from doing this. So it's a weird, very surrealist film, as Terry Gilliam is known for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love it. The production is astounding.
Was this film in cinemas or did it just go straight to Netflix?
It was in cinema.
Was it? Okay.
I remember.
Because I know a lot of his newer films just kind of get very small screenings, which is a bit unfortunate.
But yeah, I'd literally only heard of it because of Netflix. So
it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's currently on there.
Oh my god! Thank you.
All 3 films I'm talking about are on Netflix now.
I'm watching that then.
Yeah. I would highly recommend it to people. Production design is beautiful. There's a great shot where behind him's just an X mark full of sensor signs. So it's like no smoking, no rollerblading, no babies, no dogs. Perfect.
That's funny.
Adore it. And there's like the Church of Batman. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like this film.
Okay.
Next one is Automata, which came out in 2014, starring Antonio Banderas. And it's basically iRobot without the action.
Hey.
Yeah. So very much.
That was recently on TV a while ago.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, boy, that film hasn't aged well.
I know. Oh my god.
I still love the robots, but that's just I like robots.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's basically Antonio Banderas playing an insurance kind of claims person for a robot company, investigating claims that robots have done harm because they're not programmed to. And it does kind of go in the generic place, but it was done really well. I do like it.
Oh.
Kind of slogs near the end though.
Okay.
But very enjoyable for a iRobot-ish film.
I don't want to hear that label ever again.
Well, let's say iRobot book.
Okay.
Yeah, because that came out in the 50s or 40s or something.
All right.
Last one being Annihilation, which just came out this year. It was in cinemas in America, and everywhere else it just went straight to Netflix.
Because I forget who it was, Paramount or whoever it was, just have no faith in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I will say I was very distracted at the point in time I watched this, so I didn't fully take everything in.
Second watch then.
Yeah, I will need to rewatch it. A lot of really crazy visual effects throughout, which a lot of people are hit and miss. I like them.
I've seen some of them. I'm like, jeez.
There's a very interesting bear, which is fascinating.
Oh god, I've seen that thing.
It is beautiful and horrifying.
Oh, it's one of the probably one of the worst things you'll see this year.
Yeah, almost everything in this film is that duality of beautiful and horrifying. Weird thing is, and no one's mentioned this, it really reminded me of a book from the 70s in Soviet Russia called Roadside Picnic, which is essentially aliens came to visit and they just left, and they left a whole bunch of stuff. And that's where the whole term roadside picnic comes from. That, you go there, you leave stuff, and animals just find the stuff you left.
Okay.
Whereas humans are the animals in that equation.
Okay.
And Roadside Picnic is what inspired the Andrei Tarkovsky film Stalker, the game series Stalker, and the Metro games.
Metro 2033 to 35.
Yeah, and this film kind of reminded me of those, which was very interesting.
I can kind of see that, especially with the Metro comparison and the fact that this is just a bunch of scientist ladies going in with guns, just trying to deal with this situation, this weird area of just possible chaos.
Exactly, and another weird thing is, and this is just a me thing, I kind of see it in relation to something like The Last of Us, of nature just doing its thing with humans, as a thematic point.
Okay.
Nature's doing its thing, humans see it as hostile when really it's just nature.
Okay.
In that way.
Yeah, I've been quite interested in this film because I've heard a lot of good things, and it definitely seems like let's just say our kind of film.
Yeah.
And I was really disappointed with the fact that not a lot of people were seeing this film, because especially in the film industry where there is this mass outcry of people going, we want more ethnic people, we want more women in films, and yet you have a film that is good with a whole female cast and a lot of ethnic people. No one gives a damn about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping with it being on Netflix, all the people who have Netflix will end up watching it. Because it's like, oh, I can watch this, and they're like, wow, that was really good.
But I'm just scared it's going to get lost in the abyss.
I hope it doesn't. I mean, that said, Zero Film and Automata, I never heard anyone talk about, and those were on Netflix for ages. So
I've watched that film. I love Zero Film, and I didn't even know it was on Netflix until right now.
See?
So it just proves your point.
I think it's just a bit flip floppy, honestly, because it's just like you can't scream about one thing and then not scream about the other. You can't, because it's been a hypocrite at that point.
Yeah.
Black Panther has done great things for the culture, but it hasn't done great things for the industry. And I think I'll probably just leave it at that. And if you're smart, you know exactly what I mean by that. But yeah, I'm hoping we can pull through for that film.
Yeah, I hope more people watch it, especially all those that, they say, Moon is so underrated, Arrival underrated. It's like, this film's literally getting no attention.
It's basically like in that trilogy now.
Yeah.
Talking about Moon, he's got another film on Netflix.
Yeah, Mute. I talked about it last time.
Yeah, we discussed that last film.
Really good.
Very good.
That's good to hear. I guess I'll run through my things. I've had an extremely busy last 2 weeks because I had a ton of work to do in my personal business job. So I hardly got any time to do anything. But the two things I did manage to do was I watched the Lego Batman film.
Okay.
Which I did enjoy. It's not as good as a Lego movie.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. I kind of would consider it to be a film if you both hate and love Batman. Especially modern day Batman.
Yeah.
And how he's treated. Because in this film, Batman is very much an asshole. And I guess that kind of can be a off turn for a lot of people. But I think the way the film was done, and I think it was clever enough to really understand and respect why people kind of do and don't like Batman. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate arsehole is Superman. Because he's, compared to other people, compared to other superheroes, he's not interesting.
It really depends on the interpretation.
Of course. Yeah. I'm just talking like let's, for sake of argument, keeping it short, because we could have that could be a whole episode in its own. Current Superman. No one likes current Superman.
Oh no, current Superman is a bit of a...
Because he's no fun, and everyone likes Superman to be fun. I like Superman when he's saving the day, and he's being a hero, and he's that symbol of justice, that symbol of America, and he's just the epitome of, like, a person.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing.
Of a traditional American man.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah. And with this one, it's just kind of, with the current Superman, it's just like, I guess I'll save people.
Yeah. And he's a bit of a party pooper. Like,
yeah.
You'll go into a party saying, man, we need to kill people. Or something like that. You know what he's like.
Something like that.
It's depressing.
But I think this film was good. I think there were quite a few plot holes in this film, which was a bit odd. Because I was like, maybe you should have timed that out. But I do like the fact that DC didn't watch this film.
Fair enough.
They clearly didn't watch this film. Because, there's certain jokes in there where I'm like, wow, no one at Warner Brothers watched this film. You just went, okay, Lego team, make us a Batman film. But they did. Lots of really great references, though, in that film. It's good. I think it's a little bit more steered towards children, and that's fine.
Definitely.
But still pretty enjoyable. You could do much worse. I mean, it's probably one of the best recent Batman films, I would say.
Definitely one of the best recent animated Batman films, because there's been some trashy Batman.
I think it's probably probably the best, I'd say. And also, I'd say Zach Galifianakis' portrayal of the Joker is probably the best Joker we have right now.
Oh, he was the Joker?
Yeah, he was the Joker in this, because he actually had weight in his performance compared to other people who don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to acting. But I don't know. Then again, we're going to have 4 Jokers in the next 3 years, apparently. So we'll see.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah, because we've got the prequel story and then the offset story.
Oh, God.
Because everyone loves everyone loves Joker. He's my favourite villain.
He's my favourite Marvel character.
I want to see more Penguin.
Justice League was a weak Marvel film. And the last thing I did, I finally managed to read a book we kind of talked about when we were doing the Anime Awards, and that is my lesbian experience with loneliness.
Yes.
Which I managed to read. It's a very short read, but it's a really good read. It is it's a very interesting book, kind of coming from this person's perspective and how they see things. Because you read the title and you're expecting just 2 elements, but this character goes through a lot of stuff, and it is very interesting to see that character experience these things, describe these things, especially in a very comedic and very in their head kind of way, and accompanied to the illustrations and how their thought process goes, and kind of beat certain things and kind of come to certain realizations. Just her improving her life and kind of realizing things was a really interesting development, because this character was not in the best of positions, but her kind of figuring it out and it kind of clicking with the reader and with her and kind of getting things going is a really awesome read. If you have the time, definitely give it a read if you want to see something that's kind of coming from a very like personal kind of situation. And also the sequel's coming out as well, which
really?
I believe is called My Solo Exchange Diary, something like that. So that should be interesting.
Yeah, it's been on my read list for a while. So I'm glad to hear good things.
Yeah,
about
it's worth a read, and it's very well done. Like I said, it's very personal. You kind of do, and I think it's definitely going to become a more relatable story.
Yeah.
I think someone could probably relate to some of the things that this character has experienced, especially if you're teen going on adulthood, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, really good read, I would say. So we got to talk about the last 2 weeks, which I've already mentioned as being pretty damn crazy for the most part. So the one thing I want to say, I want to get this one thing out of the way, and we're going to try this. We're not always going to talk about certain things like that, but the fact that Russia is going around poisoning everyone is pretty crazy. And when I say everyone, I mean metaphorically speaking, in the terms of this whole incident with a former Russian spy and his daughter being poisoned for whatever reason, has obviously poisoned the media and poisoned so many other governments to the point where it's such a hot button issue. And I think I just kind of wanted to speak about it because I'm like, okay, crazy. Some things have been said coming from Russia and come from other countries implying that maybe they did, maybe they didn't do it.
Oh, it's most likely, as Boris said. It's most likely that they done it. Yeah, that's what
I take everything Boris Johnson says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying it.
You need
to.
You need to.
Effect, but no.
And I found it quite funny the way that like our current Prime Minister was like, Russia, you need to explain this in 24 hours, and I'm just like, they don't have to explain shit. I know. Like, and I'm the one, and even on their behalf, yeah, they've said questionable things implying that they did do it, but at the same time, it's like, at the same time, I'm surprised they just haven't said it wasn't them.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's weird. Usually you would just say, no, we didn't do that.
There was a transcript by Russian officials and at the UN meeting, and they were acting like children, saying like, oh, well, hasn't UK done this? Haven't you guys done that?
Oh, was that about like chemical weapons?
Yeah, in regards
it was a toxin.
In regards to this.
It's all very childish.
Yeah,
because
so I think Russia has been recently. They've been trying to test Europe's.
Because they're in a position of possible power.
Well, possible power, definitely.
Well, possibly more power.
I mean, yeah,
in that sense, because we already know what the end game is for them.
Yeah.
But and I just thought the whole situation was a bit ridiculous, especially people going on at like Corbyn as well, where they were like,
who?
Corbyn.
Corbyn. Oh yeah. No, I thought you said Gordon.
Where I think he's like one of the only people who was like, yeah, maybe we should jump to conclusions, and everyone's like,
de-escalate.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh well, he's a Russian spy.
Yeah,
he has to be.
BBC literally photoshopped him with a Russian hat and the Russian like colours behind him.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous because like I'm not trying to say that I'm siding with him or anything like that. I'm just trying to say I think more people should kind of come to the point of there's a good chance they probably didn't do it. For all we know, it could have been some guy in Russia who just had a vendetta against this guy, somehow got this stuff and was like, I don't want to take this guy out.
Well, I don't believe it was not unlikely. I think it is likely, but I think the whole way she's approached it is quite ill-mannered.
You mean May?
Yeah,
May.
It's antagonistic to the point where you're just provoking them.
Yeah, because she has no right to do that. Like, unfortunately, and this is very sad to say, we're not really in the position or power to essentially be saying things to other countries like that. No, unfortunately.
Really.
So it was completely out of line, and I was just so.
Well, I don't think it's out of line. I think it's just like I said. She's just doing it at a very poor angle. She shouldn't just say, "You've got 24 hours." Like she's got something.
Like granted, this is a prime minister who has done absolutely nothing and is not considered a threat by anyone. No. So I understand she's trying to get some kind of respect, but it's not going to work when you're doing things.
When you need it.
I'd clarify it as done nothing good.
Yeah, done nothing good.
She's done some terrible thing.
Yeah, I think that's better.
I feel sorry for her because she's just. You could tell nobody wanted that job, and she just had to take it.
Well, no one wanted the vote to win, really.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I meant. Yeah,
everyone treated it as a joke, and then it actually happened, and everyone's just kind of like, well, we're kind of gonna make it happen now because you can kind of tell no one really wants to.
No, they haven't even read like that entire article. No one is actually
and it's such a frustrating situation because it's like. what the whole vote was put in just so we can remove one person out of power, and then it actually happened, and it's like, oh, now you just fuck the whole country, but you got what you want. Well done.
At least we got those passports back. Good old British passports.
Yeah, but no one's coming over here in a few years.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna see that tourism sink. Sorry, you're not English. You're coming here. Come on.
I think we need a second referendum.
We it's blatantly obvious we do. Yeah,
it's bad, but I just wanted to talk about that because it was just such an absolute mess, and obviously the papers have just been lapping it up. They're like, oh man, it's a neurotoxin. He went to the supermarket to get his milk, and that's how he got the toxin. And I'm just like, come on, guys. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other unfortunate news as well regarding like Stephen Hawking passing away, which was like that really shook the world.
That was really depressing to hear.
Yeah.
Really? Is it? I don't think it's depressing. I think it's fucking incredible how long this guy survived.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, in that aspect, yeah.
It is, yes. He was like one of the prime intellectuals of at least our modern age.
Yeah, and he's one of the most famous and most likable guys within science as well. And I mean, it's really sad to have him go. Yeah, he was a very funny man as well. I mean, that's why he was on the Big Bang Theory as well. And like he was very funny in the way he like injected comedy into his speeches as well.
It's got good old British humour.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think it was the way in which he talked and the way he always talked to people as equals. No matter who you were, no matter what position you were, he always talked to you and always explained things and went into his theories and his ideas in a way that was easy for everyone to understand. And I think that's kind of the reason why, like, the idea of the black hole is as popular as it is, despite the fact some people still consider it just to be a theory. It's in like science fiction and is referenced like plenty of times thanks to him, and I think it's all due to his like personality and just the way he was and the way he kind of like was passionate and spoke about things. And I think it's real sad to have someone like that go, which is a shame. And like you said, I mean, it's amazing how long he lived. I still think he passed away way too soon, but
I really don't. I think,
but it's amazing still.
Yeah,
fantastic length of life. Jeez, most people won't reach that age.
It's true, but it was a shock. I think that shocked the world. I think no one was really expecting
that. Just came out of the blue,
out of nowhere. But yeah, let's.
But I just wanted to mention one little incident. This morning they played. They played all about that bass ovaries tribute. You know?
What?
Who did? Who did that?
What?
This morning they did.
This morning as in the
with
show.
Holly and Schofield. They play over his little tribute when I showed pictures of him. You got the song all about that bass.
Wait, hold on. Did they mistake bass for mass or something?
I don't know what happened, but it just you had that image, and then they just.
I'm so confused.
They cut it off quick.
That's bad.
They cut it off quick. I need to find this on YouTube or something.
It probably is.
I'll
after
find
this
it.
podcast.
Yes.
After this podcast, we might put it in the description if we can find it.
It's the most funniest.
That's offensive.
That really is
so stupid. It's funny just because it's so stupid.
Oh god.
But yeah, I just wanted to inject that.
Shall we talk about the Oscars, Ace?
Yeah. So recently the Oscars had their awards ceremony where they can all pat each other on the back and say that the Hollywood is the best film industry in the world.
You did a great job, guys.
Yeah. And as usual, we're going to have a look through some of them and we're going to point out how they're wrong.
Real quick, I think, because I think this year
that is brilliant.
This year was this one was really disappointing. I think in terms of compared to last year.
I don't know. I'd say all of them are kind of.
Well, they're always, but like compared to last year, I was kind of hoping for a few more mishaps. But I mean, overall, it was like in terms of some of the people who did win, I think it wasn't too bad. It was decent to some. I think definitely some deserving winners, I would say. But yeah, I mean, Best Picture was a bit of a surprise with Del Toro.
Yeah,
Shape of Water. I'm surprised he walked away with so many. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve them.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying, like, wow, big winner.
Yeah,
I think I haven't seen The Shape of Water yet, but I would say he deserved it. I mean, against what the other films is against? Call Me by Your Name, which I heard was good. Darkest Hour, don't really care about that. Dunkirk, is a nice film. Get Out, which was a good film. I'm surprised it's there. Lady Bird, I don't care about.
I saw it. It's alright.
Phantom Thread, The Post, and Three Boards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
I think Get Out should have won that.
Really?
It was the most standout out of all the films to me.
I really liked Dunkirk. That was amazing. I didn't
because Dunkirk. I think where it won, I think it deserves with best sound editing and engineering.
That's where I understand where it won in different areas, but for this one. Yeah, I completely agree with
it's a very well shot and well made film. I mean, I think it did win best editing as well, and I think that's
one sound
kind of deserving. I would have really given it to Baby Driver. Honestly, I think the editing was just a little bit better done and a little bit more stylistic and had a much like you really focused on the editing in that film as opposed to Dunkirk, which was a well edited film, I guess you could say.
More cinematic type stuff.
But yeah, I mean, Shape of Water, I think it took away Best Picture, Best Director, Original Score, Production Design, which was crazy. I mean, good for him. I mean, people like the film, that's great. And I think the reason why it won so many is because it is very classic Hollywood.
Yes.
I think it's a very classic story.
Yeah. Without spoiling anything, there is a scene that directly pays tribute to old Hollywood. Okay. So I'm not surprised there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm also happy that Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri won a few awards, like Best Female Actress and Supporting Actress from Sam Rockwell and Frances McDormand. I think
Best Actress.
Very deserving. Deserving. I mean, Sam Rockwell, he deserves all the Oscars. But I was happy with that. Those are the best ones I'm happy about. And also, original screenplay went to Get Out.
I know, I was surprised.
Thank goodness.
I'm happy that happened.
Like, well deserved. Congratulations, Jordan Peele. It wasn't, I mean, and also, this is the big one. There would have been riots if this had happened. Blade Runner 2049. Winning Best Visual Effects and Cinematography.
Of course.
If it didn't win, there would have been big issues.
I'm so happy Roger Deakins has actually won for cinematography.
Finally.
It took a long time.
My gosh, what does this man have to do?
Kill someone.
Almost. It was probably getting to that point. Someone probably had to die on one of his visual effects or sets for him to win the award. Like, jeez. But yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add? Because I know there's some stupid things happen in this as well.
I think the only thing I really want to say is the whole animation thing. Coco won it. Thankfully, it wasn't Boss Baby.
No, that was the whole like category for it was just absolutely piss poor.
I know. It's like just Hollywoody stuff.
Like, so you had Coco, Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, Frienderland, I don't know how you say its name, and Loving Vincent.
Yeah.
I thought Loving Vincent was going to win.
So did I.
I'm surprised they gave it to Coco, and I mean...
Well, it's Disney,
But there's nothing here.
Yeah. Where's all the other animation from other locations?
Where's Lou Over the Wall?
Where's the silent voice or Your Name?
Yes.
I'm surprised Your Name wasn't on there, because how popular
should have been.
I don't think they know how big the world is.
I just
if
don't...
it's not Hollywood, they don't care.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
stupid.
2 of these are foreign films.
Yeah.
And they're, European films as well.
Yeah, that's what they class as foreign.
Which is bad. It's ridiculous, because I guarantee you, if someone on the board had watched Lure of the Wall, that would have won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Simply put, or The Night is Short, Walk Alone Girl. Should have got it. I mean, ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, that's the Oscars. Shame nothing crazy happened. I mean, the funniest thing that happened was when Guillermo del Toro won Best Picture, he checked the envelope to make sure it actually said his name, which was quite funny.
Yeah.
It's a great gift for him just going, yeah, it is me.
Actually, something I didn't like about the Oscars, which is more or less everything, but I didn't like Jimmy Kimmel hosting. Oh, so annoying.
See, I just read the winners because I was scared you could there again.
Oh, you're good, because he was like making jokes about Weinstein cases and all of that, trying to add some comedy into it. It's whole weird. It's
like that's
so
a bit
strange.
too soon to be. I mean, making jokes about it.
Yeah, exactly. I find it in bad taste, but they loved it. They, how Hollywood's just messed up.
Haha, he got caught.
Yeah, he got caught. He just got thrown off. Not sent in the prison or anything.
Alright.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I mean, someone who is going to prison, luckily.
Hey!
Martin Shkreli! 7 years in prison.
Finally.
And this is what I want to say. The sad thing is, it's not because he hiked up prices for HIV or any of the arsehole things.
It's just 2 cases of fraud, wasn't it?
It's defrauding investors. So only when the rich people are involved does anything really matter.
Yep.
Which is the sad thing to say about it.
It should have been 15.
Yeah, 15. That was the higher amount they were going to do.
Yeah, so that his tears actually had some weight.
Yeah. Did you see him cry?
I was so happy.
Supposedly he did cry.
He cries. It's
a shame there was. I'm hoping there was some kind of evidence of that, because obviously, given how big of a court case it was, no filmed evidence on that, which is a bit of a shame. But at the same time, good news, we're getting that Wu-Tang Clan album back.
Yeah, he has to get rid of that, and I think 5 to 6 million more of his assets.
Yeah, so not only is he gonna be serving time in prison, he's gonna come out a broke man.
Yeah,
because ain't no one gonna touch filth like that.
And his reputation's ruined because
it's stained.
He ruined it himself.
He messed up with rich people, and obviously, if messed up with rich people, as they said,
his
life's ruined.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just hope when that album comes out, I'm hoping that they just release it to the public or give it back to the Wu-Tang Clan. I don't want it to just go in like government possession and just like another.
I think that'll be auctioned
Then
off.
again, I would rather the government have it than Shkreli.
I do think it will be auctioned off because we need the money.
Or just give it back to the Wu-Tang,
I'd
say. The album's the only thing I really care about, because like I think the only real thing to say about like regarding him going to prison is he who laughs last laughs the longest.
Yeah.
Which won't be him.
No.
But yeah, more big news. We've got gaming to talk about.
Yeah,
I know.
Nintendo Direct.
Happens sometimes.
Yeah. So Nintendo Direct came out with a new video last week where they introduced all their new upcoming games. One of them, which I'm so excited for, is the Dark Souls remastering, which comes out on the 25th of May.
And don't forget, it's with Funky Kong.
yeah. Funky Kong mode.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game because they're going to improve on everything. I'm finally going to be able to play Dark Souls with good internet connect, with like a good internet service.
See, now just saying that, you've just gained us a big audience and lost us a big audience.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, that's the thing, you try and play it on PC.
Oh no. PC, no thanks.
Try being the key word.
And don't forget when you get to I can't even remember what it's called.
Describe it, he'll
you
know.
get to Blight Town,
Okay.
and you got the frame rate of 1 per second.
God.
That's strong frame rate right there.
It was. Oh god.
It's abysmal.
I thought something was wrong with me when I was looking at that. That's how terrible it was. Like, is this a finished game?
For those who aren't aware of, just look up Blighttown Dark Souls and just look at, your eyes will be shocked, and put that in 720. Your eyes will be
go
hurting.
4K, mate. Go full.
Burn your eyelids.
Oh god.
1 second at a time.
Jeez.
Oh god.
Oh man. So we got that game coming out. Oh, go on, yeah.
Yeah, the next game that I'm really looking forward to, because I'm looking forward to like 2 games on that from video, is the Kirby
All-Stars?
Kirby Star Allies, I think it's called.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
Kirby with that like platinum like track record.
Yeah.
The most successful video game franchise critically ever.
Crazy. And I've never played a Kirby game, so
I know someone made a great point where the new game that just came out, it mostly got an 8, and then it was like, oh, Nintendo fans think it's bad.
Wow.
Because they usually get higher rated than that. And it's just got an 8, and it's like, oh, it must be pretty bad.
So those are what I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, Ace, do you want to throw us some stuff that you possibly liked or didn't like from the Nintendo Direct?
I was really happy that they're remaking Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS.
Yes!
Because that's one of my favourite GameCube games of all time.
It makes sense. The sequel's on 3DS.
I know, that's the good part. So I could just play both back to back.
Yeah, why not?
It makes me so happy.
Took a while, but it's here. I was pleasant with that. I wasn't interested because, I want to play the GameCube version before I actually go and touch that one.
But yeah, I played it a lot when I was younger, when I had GameCube.
I played it, never beat it.
Oh, okay. But I finally get to play it again. I'm happy.
That's good.
There was 2 kind of like indie-ish ones that I thought were interesting looking. Dylan's Dead Heat Breakers, which was kind of an action tower defense game with kind of anthropomorphic animals.
Okay.
And they actually anthropomorphize your me in the game.
Was that the game I talked about before?
I'm not sure, but and your friends' Mii's could pop up in the game, and it just looked like a fun little game that you pick up and play.
It's on 3DS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know of that one.
And the other one being Octopath Traveler,
yes,
the Japanese dungeon crawler game, which looks like a pop-up book, and that actually comes with one in the special edition.
Does it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's still in the pixel art style.
Oh, that's great, because I saw this. I was aware of it, but I hadn't really seen anything of it. And when I saw that, I was like, damn, they're doing some really cool stuff with the RPG game. Like, I mean, the two characters they showed off, which was the merchant and the the apothecary. Apothecary.
Yeah.
I like the way they've done those characters. They're like kind of coming at a more slower pace, but I do like that you have that option in the game. You know, compared to just like, you know, more standard roles, and also the fact that you can have two classes on one character as well, which is something I think a lot more games, Fire Emblem, should really start doing.
I think in one of the previous videos that I saw, they one of them is a dancer, and she kind of gets people to be on her side. Yeah, if I remember correctly, but. Very interesting dungeon crawler. I'm excited. Could be cool.
I wish they had the guy in it who does
Octodad?
Yeah. Who does the pose.
Oh, yeah.
That was a brilliant pose.
I mean, maybe the male characters might do that if they have the second class as dancer, perhaps. Maybe they're putting a joke where, he can't dance, so he just does a rubbish attempt at that. I mean, I think we're kind of neglecting the biggest one from the Nintendo Direct. And that was Super Smash Bros. For Switch?
Yeah.
Question mark?
I think the biggest thing is this a new Smash Brothers, or is it just the one that was on the Wii U but ported?
Nintendo ain't saying nothing.
Exactly.
Because I think what they're just doing, they're going to add the new characters. Yeah. A few new characters, but build up the one for
the roster.
Yeah, so they're just buffing up the roster,
which is understandable. It makes sense, and I mean, it might not even be that much more different, even if they do claim it as a second game.
Because it's kind of like what they did with Mario Kart 8, where they brought in the Inklings. Yeah,
and boy, this trailer was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Like, so obviously it's going to be description and download if you want to see it, but it starts off with like the Inkling boy and the girl, and they're doing like the Splatoon thing, and then like it just goes all dark, and then like the squid girl just turns around with like horror on her face, as in the retina of her eyes she sees the Smash logo inflamed, and then just sees shadowy figures staring at the distance, not saying nothing, just looking at her. Like, damn, that was so epic yet creepy at the same time.
Have you guys seen the video where a live reaction of like 50 people, they're just jumping around?
Just losing it.
You just see this girl proper crying out. It's crazy. She's like lost herself.
Like Smash is a big deal, and obviously this trailer is kind of like them kind of making reference to its like legacy. I mean, this is a game, a Nintendo game that the whole industry is quite afraid of in a lot of sense, because that's a big deal. And I mean, just the whole idea, just the whole concept of just this poor child seeing this and being so scared and so confused. And imagine if this happened in real life. You just saw this.
I'd be excited.
You could be excited, but I'd be terrified. I'd be like,
probably ink yourself.
I probably would.
It was so well done. And the other trailer I want to talk about is No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again. Finally got some gameplay, finally got some story, and a lot of people were disappointed by it.
Yeah, from me, the perspective looked really odd. It's like more top-down-ish than the other games, which are more third-person-y.
And the thing was, I wasn't disappointed, because I remember this isn't No More Heroes 3.
Yeah, exactly.
This is something new, and I'm happy with that.
It's kind of like a spin-off-y one.
Yeah, I think the title implies that. Yeah. I do like the fact it's taking place in the video game world, in certain video games, possibly doing certain different video game styles and moves in order to go and fight certain bosses and certain styles and moves. So that has a lot of potential right there. It looks like a little bit more of a funny, toned-down story, kind of. Maybe this will make way for No More Heroes 3 in a sense, which would still be nice. The only thing that's kind of bothering me is I'm not sure if it's going to utilize the Switch's controller. Yeah. Like the first two games, which might be a missed opportunity. Maybe, like I said, this might just be a warm-up to No More Heroes 3. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, those boss character designs,
they look pretty cool.
Those are some boss character designs. Damn.
Done right.
Where's my art book, Grasshopper Studios? I want to see that. Yeah, that was so it was overall pretty good direct. I mean, would have liked a few less remakes in there, but at least they threw in some keeping people excited, foaming at the mouth.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was entertaining.
Something for everyone, 100%. Compared to the last one, which was a bit disappointing, this one was definitely like the we got something for you kind of stuff. But yeah, so let's move on to our main 2 story topics we have. I believe you have this one, Ace.
I do. So
first trailer.
The first trailer we're talking about is for the Netflix original series Lost in Space, being an adaptation of the original series and possibly the film. I think it looks okay. It's basically just modern Lost in... There's not really you can see. The Robinson family trapped in space find an alien robot instead of where usually it's being built by them or for them. That's basically it. They have to survive.
I said this during the 1988 film, and I'm going to say it again. This is stupid.
Fair enough.
Lost in Space is like dumb in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of issues with this trailer. Like, are the Robinson families? Is the Robinson family pilots? Because their ship seems to get wrecked a lot more than it did in the TV series. Because my God, every shot had that thing just getting destroyed or crashing, or they can't get it to work. And yeah, I get it. The point of the show is in the title and to explore, but that's a bit much. Like, it's almost as if the ship is gonna crash like every 3 episodes at this rate. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
No, I think it's just the editing. There's just one
But at the same, there's the shots, and it's like,
it's entirely possible.
Did you guys steal the ship and you're running away or something?
That's what I mean. It's like an ultimatum episode, and they're just trying to make it look exciting, you know.
But it's going to get
a
boring.
running joke in the series. We don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be any jokes in this series.
It did look like it was taking itself too seriously.
Way too seriously. Because the show's stupid, and they should have a bit more fun. Like, the original series is stupid.
Not in a bad way. No,
it's a bad way. It's a nice bit of science fiction, but it's like, it's stupid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And the one thing that like really annoyed me was when the dad was looking at the robot, or B9, or Blinky, or whatever you want to call it, and he's like, "What are you?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's clearly a robot.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, I think we were talking a bit before with like mechanical life forms. They can exist as aliens in fiction.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I mean, the Transformers, for one, they're kind of robot aliens.
But still, it looks and acts like a robot.
Yeah. It looks like one of those.
And given, I mean,
robots.
I'll give him props. It is an actual costume, but still, it's like, it's clearly a robot.
Maybe he doesn't know what that kind of robot is.
I think he's just saying it because he's surprised.
I get it. It's a trailer line, but still, I'm just like, it goes back to my previous thought. Was like, are these people even like scientists or explorers, or did they just steal a ship? Because it's like, what is this tree? You know, like,
maybe it's like Star Trek Discovery, where it's just like
where it's garbage. No,
all the arseholes have taken over the ship. Instead of the scientists and the happy people.
No, that would be a good alien, wouldn't it?
I don't know. It was just so. Oh, it was so baffling.
The trailer should have ended with like the robot just headshotting the bottom of the rock. That would have been great. Just like,
that would have been rough.
What are you doing?
Speaking of things I don't understand, we have final trailer is for Christopher Robin, the teaser trailer. Now, I'm not quite sure if these guys are laughing for the same reasons I might start laughing, but so this trailer kind of came out of nowhere, and it's kind of time for me to come clean. I'm a big fan of the whole like Christopher Robin like characters and Winnie the Pooh and that, so I was so confused when watching this trailer. I mean, I get that they're going for the whole Hook, 1999's Hook feel, but but Christopher Robin comes across as a mad person in this.
Yeah.
Big time. Like, it's not whimsical, and it's actually quite scary.
Dark, isn't it? It's really grim the way it's shot.
Because it's like, I don't really understand why he's seeing the toys moving as opposed to how he'd imagine they look.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm wondering if it's literally like in Ted, for example, where the toys are alive. And that'd be horrifying.
But they're not, because this is about the person who inspired the stories-ish.
It might be them fantasizing about, like, doing it a bit more magical.
Well, even then, it's, like, incredibly inaccurate, because, like, the toys aren't accurate.
Yeah.
Like, his original toys, granted, look horrific now, but they didn't look like that.
Maybe they just made them look less horrific. Like, just keep a little bit.
No, look at the original toys, like, Kangaroo's head is, like, coming off. and it looks like Tim Burton designed those toys.
Maybe it will happen near the end. The Kangaroo Set.
I don't know, but like it's so weird, and I don't understand what kind of angle they're coming at. And also, I had to double check the casting because I was like, "Are you guys gonna do just the original characters? You're gonna have the made up characters?" And they are. Including the made-up characters, it obviously still makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I am happy that Jim Cummings is going to be voicing like Pooh again. Like he's the guy who's voiced him since the beginning. He is the only returning guy, obviously, because the rest of them unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
But the cast now is obviously got Ewan McGregor as Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see Ewan McGregor.
I mean, I'm happy to see him, but his accent kind of sounds like he's taking the piss.
He might be.
I mean,
that's what I was thinking.
I understand the approach he's going for, like that old timely English one, but it sounds like sounds like a Scottish man in a pub taking the piss out of Englishmen.
Well, so I have a similar problem in Fargo season 3, where he's playing two characters.
Oh yeah,
and the accents, it's very confusing with him.
It's Scottish accent. It's not very, very easy to be versatile with.
Yeah, it's weird because like the casting of this film is weird. I had to look up the casting because obviously like who's going to voice the rest of the characters. So Chris O'Dowd's voicing Tigger.
Chris O'Dowd.
What
are you doing, Paul?
Yeah, that Chris O'Dowd.
Is he going to lose his arm like in Cloverfield Paradox?
No, he'd lose his tail.
Oh no, his tail just starts wagging everywhere.
Toby Jones is Owl, who was a made-up character.
Who the hell is Toby Jones?
He's I forget what he's in. But the weirdest one, Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi?
Yes.
Really?
Playing Rabbit.
Yeah, that's the first one I thought of when you said Capaldi.
And I was like,
I like that. Though.
Really.
That kind of makes sense.
It makes sense, but that's a really odd choice.
Weird.
I don't know, but it's so weird.
Yeah.
This whole casting, this whole film is just so weird, and I think a lot of people. It's kind of like people's reactions to the BFG. People are like, "That's really horrible."
It's just like really dark and gritty, and like
it's a really grim color palette.
What, this film?
Yeah,
it doesn't feel homely.
I think that's because they're going, it's old-fashioned-y.
But even old-fashioned, you see like
old-fashioned is bright.
Yeah,
it's got beautiful contrast.
But I think, this comes from the confusion where it's like, it's an old film, because they want the toys to be bright, so kids will buy them. They have to make sure that the toys look bright, and the rest of the film is a little bit more dimmer.
But that's the thing. When I was watching it, because I don't know the name Christopher Robbins, I thought it was a horror for the first minute, and then I see the F is Pooh doing there.
Like I thought he was going to take a knife out.
People have done like image shops. I know someone did where they were like, I think someone had like Pooh with a lightsaber and it's like Ben Kenobi.
Poor guy, can't escape that.
Well, he's the best part of the prequel.
Hello there. Yeah. You just have that every time. That's my alarm clock in the morning.
Mine is "You Are the Chosen One." That's how I wake up.
Nice.
But yeah, so. Confusing as hell. I don't know. Like, Disney really needs to calm down with their remake adaptations because it's getting freaky now. I mean, we already talked about Dumbo and how frightening that's going to be.
It's horrible staring eyes.
See, Ferret's already hyperventilating because of the thought at seeing that statue of Dumbo
Those eyes
again.
are just too blue, blood. It's creepy.
Like, it got to the point where even I was like, Tim Burton, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
You need to remember this is for kids.
And adults.
I don't know. Have you seen the live action Pinocchio that came out like in the 90s?
No, don't even bring that up.
I watched that so much.
Oh my gosh.
The Pinocchio in that looks like a horror monster.
It is bad. It is like, that is not a film for children.
It's not.
That is horrible.
I'm gonna add that to a list then.
That film is horrible.
That and Return to Oz, if you want to creep a child out.
Oh, that's sweet. I've seen a bit of that.
Return to Oz is enjoyable.
I love that film, but as a kid, anytime the woman shouted Dorothy Gale, I got terrified. That was my nightmare as a kid. Could watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th, Texas Chainsaw. Couldn't watch Return to Oz.
Because Return to Oz is horrible.
It's horrifying.
It's horrible.
Eerie feeling of that.
Good, but horrifying.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame they're not going to do the other like sequels in that, but it's just like... Oof. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, if Christopher Robbins is gonna be somewhat like Hook, I'll be fine because I love Hook. But yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. You can't tell from this trailer.
No, it's coming from possibly the worst angle.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they just didn't do an animated film. The last animated film they did was fantastic.
Yeah.
In terms of animation and that, but no one watched it.
Yeah.
And that was 2011.
Oh, that's probably why.
I mean, 2011 was a rough time, but like.
Oh yeah, that was.
Like that was like a low key Disney film. I think that kind of got undershadowed, which is a bit of a shame because like it's got some really slick animation in it and some really nice songs. That film should have been bigger than it actually ended up being because I watched it and I was like literally like almost like Pulp Fiction, looking around like no one sees how good this is, like no, like hello, you know. But I digress. I'm gonna keep my eye on Christopher Robin because I'm scared what the full trailer is gonna look like.
Oh my god!
Because, like I said, if you look at what the kangaroo toy looks like now, it's horrible.
Imagine if like Pooh at the extended trailer pulls out a gun. Let's go rub some honey bags. Oh, that would be really creepy. Ooh. What are you talking about, Pooh?
And then Christopher Robin says, "But Dad, I want to be a singer."
And then the techno music starts playing as he draws on an animal mask.
Yes. I'm never going to forget that. That's one of the funniest things in a trailer.
What, from Sing?
Yeah.
We need to watch Sing.
Just for that. Commentary coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. Sing. Oh gosh, I think we need to end this podcast before we delve deeper into the dark psyche of Christopher Robin. Because there's potential there.
Yeah.
We're going to end it with the video of the episode, which is going to be Rick and Morty X Run the Jewels with Oh Mama. And this video just literally dropped, and it is a collaborative project between, obviously, duo Run the Jewels and Adult Swim / Rick and Morty, delivering some really awesome animation from Rick and Morty. Good story, great track from Run the Jewels 3, the album. Really well done, and I'm so happy that it turned out so well compared to... I'm glad they're actually working with good musicians as opposed to bad musicians who were shoved into the third series for no reason. I think people might know what it means. Logic is garbage. Logic is a garbage artist, and I don't care what you say, he is garbage. 100%.
Then again, they did have Jeremy, I forgot, the New Zealand guy. Goodbye, moon.
Yeah, well, he's a fantastic singer artist.
So at least they had him in it, so that's, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, I was just like,
he's fantastic.
Not Logic. I turn it off when I see Logic.
Right, yeah. It's just Logic. There we go.
No, he needs some logic.
Yeah.
But still, we'll leave you with that. Great video. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this podcast up?
No, thank you.
I can't think of anything now.
Fair enough. Hopefully the snow is gone by the time we do the next podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ferret just checking. No, still there. Okay, well, maybe by the time it goes up. Yeah. Ace, where can people find you if they want to continue the discussion?
If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter with my misspelled Twitter handle of Ace Engima. That's capital A-C-E, capital E-N-G-I-M-A.
And Ferret, if people want to catch up with you, where can they find you?
You can find me about the globe. When you go to a Shinto shrine and say, "Please summon Arif."
Okay. Fair enough. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me at The Angry Raccoon. That's only with one C within the raccoon. And so we'll put everything we talked about in the description and the download link, so you can go download that and follow that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from the podcast, because I've been revising everything on the channel, so there's going to be big changes coming up in the next few weeks, so things will be a little bit more organized than that. And I guess if there's nothing else to say, I'll end this podcast like I always do by saying I am the Angry Raccoon.
I'm Ferret.
And I am Ace.
And we will see you on the next podcast.
After we sing?
Oh, I've stopped doing that.
Yeah. That was a bit awkward.
Just a bit.
No?
Let's keep it quiet.
Okay, let's just end with silence.